Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and in this video we're breaking down the brand new Last of Us trailer. With just 2 episodes left, we have 2 major things that still need to happen, and the first of those is meeting David. The new teaser has him and his people trying to get Ellie, whilst Joel is sitting back, kicking his feet up, and just chilling like a villain. Now there's lots to unpack in this upcoming entry, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking it all down. However, there will be heavy spoilers for what happens in the game, so if you don't want things ruined, then I'll recommend that you turn off now. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns like this every day. With out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into the Last of Us trailer.
You won't survive for long out there. There's room for you in our group if you want.
I don't mean to question your sense of mercy, David. She's just another mouth to feed. If we leave her out here, she'll die. Maybe that's God's will.
The others want to kill you? Let me protect you.
Now in the trailer, David says 2 major things.
You won't survive for long out there. Let me protect you.
These are pulled directly from the game, with it very much being a warning, and it also making it seem like he has good intentions.
You won't survive long out there. I can protect you.
Oh, thanks.
This isn't the case though, and Ellie's arguably in the most danger that she's ever been in. As we see with Joel, he's still out of it, and this is a similar position to how he's in the game. During the winter section, Ellie went out looking for food, and she ended up killing a rabbit before she came across a deer. You see this later on in the trailer with her aiming down her scope at it, and in the game you were hunting it using a bow and arrow, but after the whole sniper section in episode 6, I'm guessing that's why they brought this across. Either way, I'm thinking things are going to play out similar, and after injuring it, you tracked it through the woodlands. At this point you came across David and James, which is when Ellie said that she'd let the pair take it in exchange for medicine. And Ellie and David bunkered down in a cabin connected to a disused factory. This is like what we see here, and at this point infected swarmed them, and the pair had to fight it out whilst working together. This really made you start to trust David, as up until this point, all of the characters that you'd worked alongside like this had ended up being friendlies. However, David revealed that the winter had been especially cruel, and that he'd sent some people out looking for food. They'd gone to a university and all been murdered, which is basically what happened at the end of episode 6 in the show. So all the people at the university, those were David's men, and those that had survived had come back and said there was a crazy man and a little girl with him. He offers to take her in, even though he's well aware people will want to kill her at his camp, but because he's the leader, he promises protection from them. Why is this though? Well, turns out
I'm getting the word nonce.
Yeah, that's right, creepy David is actually trying to groom Ellie. To make things worse, he and his people are also cannibals too, and they've survived this long by eating other people. Now in the trailer, we see some of them praying, and a shot of David reading from a book. This looks like a Bible, and I'm guessing that he's either a priest or a vicar who's united these people through using faith. In the game, we don't really learn anything about him, but it seems like they're going to be fleshing out some of his backstory and basically telling us about his past. Now at one point we see a woman praying, and it looks like he's thrown together a makeshift church in this restaurant. We get 3 shots of it throughout the trailer, and we have him reading from the book, then cut to a shot at night, which is where we can see a big sign. This says, "When we are in need he shall provide," and this is ripped right out of the game. The chapter with David culminates with Ellie fighting him in a restaurant, and at the back of it you can catch us hanging up. Thus I'm guessing it's one and the same, and the final shot of the location comes when we see it on fire. David stands there menacingly whilst the place burns down around him, and we get another shot of Ellie ducking down in what appears to be a kitchen. This entire segment is ripped right out of the game, and when escaping David's capture, Ellie fled through the town and ended up here. As she went to leave, David burst in, and when a lamp was knocked over, the entire place started to burn down. It was like a Goodfellas insurance scam, and here Ellie made her stand, which it looks like they're bringing across to the show. It seems that we're going to be revisiting this location at numerous points, and we'll probably learn a lot of things that we weren't privy to in the original game. We never got any of these scenes, and due to the fact that we get a wide shot of David's home, Salt Lake, I'm guessing that we're going to be jumping back and forth between his and Ellie's perspective. He's very much the anti-Joel in that he wants to become a father figure to Ellie, but he has this sick and sinister side to him. Now, amongst David's people, we also meet his right-hand man, James. If you're a fan of the games, you'll probably instantly recognize the person playing him, and this is none other than Troy Baker. Troy played Joel in the games, and it's so cool seeing him here. So far we've had Marlene's voice actor playing Marlene, Tommy's has played Perry, and now we have Troy making an appearance as James. I think the guy's amazing. He's done so much seminal work in video games, and to see him actually appearing in the show, it's going to be a big win. Now, he very much questions David's motives for saving Ellie, and it seems like he's kind of the voice of reason amongst all the madness. In the context of the series, I see David as being a sort of play on Kathleen, as both end up causing their own downfall due to their wants and desires. Kathleen was desperate for revenge, and it ended up costing her everything, and David's desperate for Ellie, which too brings everything down around him. Now it looks like James is saying this to David when his group go out looking for Ellie. Originally, David wasn't part of this team in the game, but they're probably bringing him in to make things have this back and forth with them. Now in the game, Ellie left David after the cabin scene, and she returned home to nurse Joel. In the morning, she woke up to see that David's men had arrived looking for her, and she darted out on horseback to draw them away. We see something similar in the trailer, and it looks like Ellie's racing through the streets on her horse whilst the men try and shoot at her. In the game, the horse ended up being shot, and she then plummeted over the edge of a cliff, which is when you made your way to a hotel. Upon escaping this, you were grabbed by David, and then you woke up in a cage. This too pops up in the teaser, with David speaking to Ellie through the mesh bars of it. Now David at this point once more offers her protection, and in the game, the creepier side starts to come out. Ellie also discovers that he's a cannibal during this, and the tension really starts to ramp up. Now on the other side of this, Joel pulls himself together and he goes looking for her. Fighting his way through Salt Lake, he arrives at the restaurant just as Ellie's playing whack-a-mole on David's head, and this is when the pair is reunited. Now that closes out the chapter, with Joel becoming even more of a father to her as he comforts her because of what she's just been through. Ellie was really pushed over the edge by David, and it's one of the darkest parts of the game due to all the horrific subtext that's within it. If David is a holy man, you also have the connotations that come with that too, and this might end up being one of the strongest episodes in the series. It's great seeing Troy Baker as well, and I can imagine this is going to be a big one before we head into the finale the week after. Sucks there's just 2 episodes left. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life after, but we still have a lot to talk about, so hopefully I'll see you on Sunday for our big breakdown on this entry. Now in the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, so make sure you comment below and let me know. We are in a competition right now and giving the Rocky 4K box set to 3 subscribers on the 15th of March, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the trailer. Lost my voice a bit there, but yeah, thanks for sticking with me. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of the latest Last of Us episode, which will be linked on screen right now. That will really rile you up when you see what we've managed to uncover, and definitely go head over there right after this. Well, out of the way, thanks for sticking through the video. I've been Paul. I'll see you next time, yeah? You better come back, mate, or it's trouble. It's bloody trouble, I tell you. See you next week. Take care. Peace.